The first is real quick, and that is, how do they know God is not Satan and vice versa? And somebody actually mentioned in the chat room. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 is a little longer. So 2 goes like this. They say that God is free will, and he's unable to sin for whatever reason. And if you put aside the good argument, God is all-knowing, then he cannot have free will. And that, he's unable to sin for reason. If you accept all that, then the question is, why did he create humans with the same free will, but without the inability to sin? So, didn't we choose to love him freely without free will, but still have that inability to sin?
Well, I mean, I have another angle on that question, actually, which is presumably in heaven, people will stop sinning and just love God. Do those arguments no longer apply once you're dead and in heaven? I mean,
is there free will in heaven?
Do people stop having free will because all they do is what makes God happy?
Actually heard in some theists said that there is no free will in heaven or hell. It's just because God is there.
Well, that sucks. I don't want to go there.
During the living time.
Right, well then I have to wonder what the point is and why heaven is heavenly if there's no free agency there.
And if you have no free will, I mean, if you are in essence stripped of the essence of something that makes you human, then in what sense is it really you in heaven instead of just some robot going around who looks like you and says some things that you might have said? But I mean, if he has no free will, how will it be me? I'm not comforted by the idea that there will be an automaton replica of me.
If God has free will and he's unable to, why don't we have the same? We have free will like he does, supposedly. But
I think Christians would come back at you with they would say, oh well, because of the fall, we were that way, but then there was the fall. Because of the fall, then
but the fall. Sinning, but we have the ability to sin even.
I'm not saying that you should expect logic and consistency from these responses. It's just that's probably what you'll get.
That's why I never hear these answers. Yeah. I never hear these questions.
But what I find funny about this whole point that you bring up, Steve, is that if one thing that I forever hear Christians say, right, especially when you want to get into arguments about things like the problem of evil, and well, why didn't God stop that little girl from being raped, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? They always want to come back with something like, oh, well, God can't interfere with our free will, right?
Exactly. He can't stop the rapist because the rapist has to be free to do that.
Yeah, and if God interfered with our free will, we'd all just be a bunch of mindless robots, and God doesn't want mindless robots. But if there's no free will in heaven...
Apparently he does.
Yeah, so it's like...
This is a testing ground to see if you're worthy of becoming a mindless robot.
That must be it, yeah.
I'm not sure you're getting my question, though.
Okay.
Well, you are kind of cutting in and out a little bit on your mic, so just to let you know.
I'm sorry about that.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Yes, it is. It is say we have free will, and that explains the sin. Mm-hmm. I'm asking, if we have free will, like God, why don't we also have his inability to sin? That's the question.
Ask a Christian.
Yeah, I
certainly can't.
Yeah, I mean, we think that's a good point.
I can't rationalize that for you.
And you should ask Christians that question and let us know what answers you get, because it would be interesting to see how
maybe you can ask them. Bigger audience.
Yeah, if a theist is watching us right now, if a Christian's watching us and wants to call and answer that question, then by all means, please do.
Sure, call in. I mean, I don't mention this all the time, but if you are a Christian, I encourage the call screeners to fast track you to the front, or a Muslim for that matter, or a believer of some sort who would like to disagree in some way.
Right.